This is the story of a princess who, if she is not married for 18 years, a demon will wake up and destroy the whole kingdom and marry the princess. The story begins in the middle of the mountains, where it is completely dark. A big monster is sleeping there. Its name is Mountain King. Because of this monster, no one used to go around this place. People believed that if the princess was not married before the age of 18, that demon would wake up and wreak havoc all around and marry the princess. The king was also eager to get his daughter married, and so he called a prince from a nearby kingdom to see Christine, as the next day was Christine's 18th birthday. Christine didn't want to marry that prince, and her father was forcefully getting her married, so Christine runs away from her home. The next moment we see a boy named Ashpan, who is carrying some fruits and vegetables to his house. Just then, the princess passes by, sitting on her horse, and suddenly seeing the horse beside her, Ashpan falls into the water in fear. The princess blows him out of the water. Ashpan gives her some fruits to eat, but the princess was so hungry that she eats all her fruits and vegetables. And meanwhile, we see the love for each other in the eyes of the princess and Ashpan. After having dinner, the princess starts on her way. Then Ashpan asks her name, because Ashpan did not know that she is a princess. Hearing this, the princess tells Ashpan that if luck wills, they will meet again, and goes on her way. Now with an empty bag, Ashpan goes to his home, where his father and brothers were working, but seeing an empty bag they get angry, because they were very poor, and Ashpan used to make mistakes often. After this, Ashpan's father and brother leave him at home and go to get food themselves, where Ashpan sets the whole house on fire because of playing with fire at night. Now the next morning when Ashpan's father sees all this, he becomes very sad, because of that fire, his wife's last photo was also burnt. Now, during this time the prince comes here and asks Ashpan's family whether they have seen any princess here. They all deny that they have not seen. But Ashpan's feelings were not right while refusing. Then the prince puts a sword on his neck and asks Ashpan's father about the princess. Ashpan's father says that Ashpan's words cannot be believed. He always keeps thinking useless stories, and still he must be doing the same. Saying this, the prince laughs at Ashpan and says that he will soon find the princess and marry her, so that the whole kingdom becomes his. The prince leaves from there, but Ashpan understands that she was the princess. On the other hand, we see the princess who has been taken away by the demon. On the other hand, Ashpan's father gives the rest of the money to his sons, except Ashpan, so that they can find the princess, and they can get the reward, and they can build their house again. Ashpan asks him what to do. His father says that he can go wherever he wants, but not come here. Ashpan then goes after his brothers, where he finds a broken mirror on the way. On going a little further, all three hear a lady's voice, who was shouting for help. Ashpan follows the voice to help him, but his brothers do not want to waste their time helping such a person. That's why they go ahead. We then see that the voice was being made by an old woman with a long nose, because her nose got stuck in a tree, which Ashpan helps. The old lady asks him what he is doing here. Ashpan tells her that he is looking for the princess. The old lady says that the prophecy has come true, and the princess has been taken away by a demon who can only be defeated with a single sword. Ashpan asks her about the sword, where to find it. Now, since Ashpan was a good person, the old woman gives him a map to find the sword. While following the map, Ashpan reaches forward. On the other hand, Ashpan's brothers get a basket of golden apples, which they start eating. Then some girls come there who tell them that they will feed them the food that they have prepared, must have never eaten in life. Hearing this, both these brothers leave with these beautiful girls. While there, we see our Ashpan, who is going through the map. He also gets a golden apple on the way, which he also eats, and goes to the cave where he sees that his brother is also there, and some beautiful girls are feeding him good food. Those girls also offer Ashpan, but as soon as he extends his hand to eat the food, he sees the food turning into insects, seeing which he is shocked. Seeing this, a girl gives the same golden apple to Ashpan to eat, and the rest of the girls were also feeding those apples to her brothers after a while. Seeing this, Ashpan understands that there is something wrong with the apples, so he does not eat the apple, but pretends to eat it. Within a short time, the effect of the apple that Ashpan had eaten earlier goes away, and everything becomes normal. He sees that they were not beautiful girls, but Chudailes, and the food they were eating was not food, but insects. Here Ashpan cleverly tells his brothers that let us go to see our new house, and they both start walking with Ashpan. but the witches try to block their way. But Ashpan shows his bravery and brings his brothers out of the cave safely, and looking at the map, starts moving forward. Next they go to a small restaurant to have some food and drink. Here, Ashpan sees in the map that the sword is inside a lake, surrounded by a lot of fog. Then at the same time that Prince comes, and seeing all three there again, asks about the princess and gives them some money. Seeing the money, Ashpan's brother asks Ashpan to give the map to the prince, but Ashpan directly refuses to the prince's face, and for this reason there is a fight between them here. Ashpan escapes and reaches a waterfall with his brothers. Wherever the prince chases, he also comes with his companions, but Ashpan takes his brothers and jumps down into the waterfall. Ashpan's brother scolds him a lot that because of your mistakes we have to suffer a lot, and he snatches the map from him. Following the map, they reach the lake, but in the meantime, Ashpan gets separated from his brothers due to the mist. But her brothers are caught by the prince's companions, and they are told that the prince will kill the princess after marrying her. On the other hand, we see that Ashpan finds the pond, and finally Ashpan goes inside and finds the sword. After this, Ashpan starts looking for his brothers. Only then, he sees that his brothers are held by the prince. Ashpan tries to scare them by dressing up as a bear, so that they can rescue their brothers, but his plan fails, and he too is caught. At night, the prince and his companions were cooking food, by the smell of which the demon comes there and attacks them. Fearing the monster, everyone runs here and there, but the monster captures the prince and one of Ashpan's brothers and takes them away. Seeing this, Ashpan starts crying that all this has happened because of me, but his brother explains to him that this did not happen because of him and it was not his fault. Then they go to the monster's cave to save everyone. In the cave, we see the prince who meets the princess and tells her that he has come here to save her. But Ashpan's brother tells him that his intentions are not good. He will kill you after marriage. Princess asks, "Who are you?" He says, "I live in your kingdom, and soon my brother will come to save us." In the next scene, we see Ashpan reaching his brother and the princess. And when he was coming out of the cave, then that demon wakes up, and they all climb the high mountain, but the prince was hiding there due to fear. The demon also climbs the mountain to kill them, and Ashpan, seeing this, takes out his owl sword to kill him. But by mistake, that sword falls down from the mountain, and now he was about to kill Ashpan, that the princess and Ashpan's brothers divert his attention by throwing stones at him. Meanwhile, Ashpan takes out the mirror from his bag which he found on the way. Ashpan waits for the sun to rise so that he will show him the mirror which will blind him, and we will run away. As soon as the sun rises, Ashpan shows him a mirror, due to which he turns into a stone monster. And this was the reason that to avoid the sun, that demon used to come out only at night. Then, Ashpan leaves the princess to the palace with his brothers. The king and queen are very happy to see the princess, and give them a lot of reward. After this, when Ashpan goes home with his brothers, where his brothers tell their father that they got this reward only because of Ashpan. Knowing this, Ashpan's father forgives him and builds his new home. In the ending of the film, we see that the prince eats that apple and gets trapped in the trap of those witches, and the film ends with this. Friends, if you want to see the second part of this story, in which the love story of Ashpan and princess has been shown, then write second in the comment box. Then we will understand that you have liked this part, so we'll bring the second part too.